Hi, Eugene.
Hey, Frank.
President of Raw Thrills. It's been a long time. I want to learn all about you and your history, how you started in the industry, who you started with, and how the hell you got to be, the legend right now.
The legend, okay. In my own mind.
In my mind, too.
Started out back in the 70s at Atari. Actually, I was doing pinball games, electronic pinball games, and it was like the Atarians and Airborne Avenger and some other stuff. And pinball was king in those days. Video games were very Pong-like. They were fun, but didn't have a lot of depth, didn't have a lot of play value, and so I was into pinball. But then this game called Space Invaders came out, and Asteroids, and Space Wars, and a few others, and it was like, man, these video games are getting cool. It was really the advent of the microprocessor chip that allowed you to put the AI into the video games. Very primitive AI. Maybe it was more artificial stupidity than artificial intelligence, but it was fun, and it just had this whole new dimension to games with the microprocessors. And so I wanted to get into video games at that point, and so went to work for Williams in Chicago, did Defender, Robotron, a lot of early games.
That was your first game?
Yeah,
Defender?
Defender. We just had a ton of fun, but it's amazing to look at like a Defender screen today and then say, look at our Injustice game, and it's like, and they don't even seem like the same animal, we have come so far, with video games have, now it used to be just kind of like space shooters and primitive vector games. Now it's almost anything imaginable, so it's interactive cinema. It's really
What do you
amazing.
think of the ones that broke the cycle, that really were new technology that jumped and changed our industry?
Well, I think there was the big revolution in the late 70s with Asteroids, Defender, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Galaga. All those games just kind of blew up the industry, kind of the 8-bit classical era, and a time when many new genres were created: character games, shooting games, sports games, and it's been kind of a huge, almost like a supernova of all these different genres. Computer games came out, and then all of a sudden you could have a game that lasted hours. And I remember the game Doom. Back in I think around 1990, pioneered the first-person shooter format.
What's the game that changed your life?
It was really Space Invaders. That was kind of my game. And maybe it's kind of like when you're growing up, when you're young. It's kind of like what music changed your life. It's maybe something when you're young that turns you in that direction. But every so often there's just a game that's so incredible. Recently was Candy Crush came out on the phones, and it just
what about
sucked.
Cruisin'? Wasn't that a big?
That was awesome. Yeah, that
big
was
one?
Yeah, that was for me, for games that I made.
Yes.
That was huge because it established kind of the casual driving genre where before it was driving games were very highly skilled, and it was tough just to get around a corner. You're trying to like turn right, and, but the response time wasn't so good. You'd have to turn right like 3 blocks before the corner, and it was a very highly skilled game that was more of a torture than a fun game. And Cruisin', we kind of just threw it up in the air and said, let's just have fun. We turn left, you actually go left, you don't skid around. Yeah.
How many Cruisins of all models have you sold so far?
Probably about 80,000. Started with Cruisin' USA back in '94, Cruisin' World, Cruisin' Exotica, and actually Cruisin' Exotica was 2000. And so it's like, 2017, maybe it's time for a new Cruisin' game. And with Cruisin' Blast, which is back in the booth here, maybe we'll see it later, kind of just remade the magic, and it's just a casual, fun driving game with lots of cool scenery and that anybody can drive.
Where are you taking Raw Thrills now for the next 5 years?
What we want to do is kind of marry the physical with the virtual. So, like we have our new Injustice game, you have the physical fighting game, but also you have the cards that come out. Like you can't get cards in an app. You know, it's only something you can only get at the arcade. You know, cruising with the steering wheel, the cockpit, that whole physical driving experience, huge screen. You just can only really get that in the arcade. And now we have a snowboarding game on the other side of the booth here, which, again, physically, you move that snowboard around. You're making tracks in the snow. Again, very unique, physical, virtual combination. And then sometimes we get into kind of the nostalgia, like we have a Space Invaders game where we have the 8-bit graphics, but in like a 10-foot screen, and we put in some new high-tech guns and just kind of reimagine that experience, and kind of getting back to the magic of the 8-bit pixels, which are kind of cool. I mean, there's something there. No matter now we have Ultra HD 4K and everything, but somehow pixels are also cooling it too. So that's kind of a fun,
Is there any branch of our industry that, I know you were one of the first people that started talking about branching off into the gaming business and using all your abilities and our industry's expertise. Is that going to happen?
I think, gaming, I don't know if you've been in a casino lately, I mean, they're like amazing video games. The amount of stuff they put in these, they have a new Game of Thrones game. And, I mean, it's just incredible stuff. I mean, it costs you a lot of money to play, but incredible, a lot of fun.
Other than that,
I think, so the video game experience is almost going everywhere now. I think, it's almost like you look at some of the your iPhone, your Android, everything is kind of flashy, and you want to have, you just don't want to start an app. You want to have some cool explosion and logos flying through space, and it's entertainment.
How about competition?
There's an incredible competition out there, and it really keeps us all. It makes us all better. As much as we hate competition and we want to have everything for ourselves, it really keeps us honest. And there's so many ideas. I mean, you get out on the show floor here at IAAPA, and there's every booth you go in, there's some crazy new ideas.
We've noticed there's more games at this show than I've seen in 50 years.
Yeah, I was at a booth over here. They have I think a redemption game where you play like pinball with cars. I don't know if you've seen that one. And it's just like, who thought of this? I mean, it's just incredible, wacky ideas. There's some cool VR games now that, I think we're still trying to figure out how that can work. Not make people sick and not be all blurry. Right. I think technology still needs to come a little ways.
Will augmented come first?
I don't think I don't think so. No? I think maybe for augmented for walk around experiences, maybe where it helps you keep your balance, and so you can see that and then have it. But it might be like a laser tag kind of experience where you have a special arena. I think that's kind of where I think VR is going to go, with like group experiences.
Seems to be
huge attractions, special arenas. I think that's the fun thing. And I guess the other cool thing is the social aspect, of the arcade. As parents, we're all tired of seeing our kids just, sitting on their tablets all day, and it becomes very solitary. But the arcade experience is such a social thing. Nobody goes to an arcade alone. You always have to bring friends,
one of the things
family,
we have to promote,
and it's so fun. You can get together. Like we have a new Turtles game over here, and I remember playing Turtles back in the '90s. And it was the rage. Now there's new movies, new TV shows. Right. Now the new kids are getting into Turtles, and so it's cool. Where like as a dad, normally I have no idea what these kids are doing, but now I can relate. Like they're playing a Turtles game, I can play a Turtles game with my kids. They're still going to beat the shit out of me, but at least we're all going to have fun as a family, and so I think that's one of the really neat thing about arcade games is they bring families together rather than isolating people, on the solitary
about
screen.
Our industry.
Yeah, that's what I love.
All right, so you think our industry has got a long way to grow for the rest of our lives, pretty much?
I think so, because we just. It's like our economy. I was reading somewhere and people were saying, it's more about experiences now. You know, I think we all have so much stuff. You know, we got so much junk. Our garages are full of junk. Our houses are full of junk. We kind of hit peak stuff, and now we don't want stuff. We want experiences, and the arcade, you know, it's such a fun experience. Such a there's so many different games. I mean, it's you can in one room you can you know, be a turtle, you know, be a superhero, you know, travel to the moon, you know, play cruising and drive around the world. I mean, you can do so many adventures in one place, and it's exciting. You know, as long as there's new games and new cool things, it's always going to be exciting.
We're so happy that you're so excited, and we're so excited, and everyone here seems to be buzzed about expansion. So please keep it up and give us good games to play.
We'll do.
I think you will.
Thank you, Frank.
Thank you, Eugene.
We're going to work really hard to